Hey, what's going on guys, it's APR2K here, and today we're going to be taking a look at this HP Pavilion that hasn't been powered on since 2018. We're going to see if this computer still works, boots up, and see if there's anything on it. The model number is the HP Pavilion P6110Y, has a little slide down cover for the front USB ports and the audio, and overall it looks like a fairly standard desktop from 2009 when it was released. There is some water damage up here, so we'll have to take a look at the internals and see if it's spread inside. Hopefully not, though. The processor inside is an Intel Pentium E5300. It has 6GB of RAM, 640GB hard drive, DVD drive, and integrated graphics. They advertise it as being for photos, media, and music. So you can see actually looking at the back of this here, this is going to be a flipped motherboard design. So your motherboard's on the bottom here, your power supply's up on the top with your PCA slots in the middle. So we have 4 USB 2, one of them has a Logitech adapter in it, a single VGA, and PS2. So this will be interesting. And then we have a single thumb screw to take it apart right there, and this side panel will come off. You also actually have premium audio here, and then we have a modem card, which definitely going to need that. And we're in. So this is your motherboard, hard drive right there, power supply, your CD base. So you can see right down there, there's a 20+4 pin, which means that this is probably a standard power supply. Not only is Molex, does not have SATA, so they put SATA adapters in here. I'm guessing this was probably an older power supply. I had it laying around and it was cheaper to do it this way. Not gonna pull it out right now, but you can see the hard drive right there, WD Caviar Blue, 640GB. This is definitely the original drive in here. Also see the RAM, you have 6GB, so I'm guessing this is probably two 2GB sticks, two 1GB sticks. Again, probably because HP had a lot of RAM laying around and they just wanted to throw it in here and give it an extra 2GB. Bottom is absolutely disgusting, so I will not be touching that. We flip it over to the top here. Everything looks all good up here. Power supply's a little dusty, but it's not horrible. As far as I can tell, this board looks like it is a standard micro ATX board, meaning you could put this in something else, or you could put something else in here, although I don't really know why you'd want to. This looks okay so far. Let's see if it powers on. It's been 7 years. Alright, so I went to go set this HP up down here, and you can see it only has VGA. Now, I do not have VGA at my KVM switch, I have HDMI, and so I had to dig out a VGA cable and I'll have to get that all hooked up, and then we can test this thing out. Also, this stuff, thankfully, is just like water damaged cardboard, so the box that it was in was water damaged, but I don't think the PC itself is. I didn't see any signs of water in there, so I'm hoping that it was just in a water damaged box when it was brought out to me, and that the PC itself wasn't water damaged. And here we go to connect the power cable. This thing has not been plugged in since 2018. So we don't have immediate power, but that's typical for HPs. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my monitor over to VGA and we'll power this up. All right, here goes nothing. 3, 2, 1. No frickin' way. There is no freaking way. So I went to go shut my fan off so we could get a little bit better audio quality, and you can see it's starting up now. I'm really curious what this is gonna boot to. And you can see this thing just started up totally fine right into Windows here. I think it's on Windows Vista, possibly Windows 7, although it looks more like Vista to me. It has a decent amount of apps on it. There's people there with faces, so I'm not gonna show that. But yeah, no password, thank God. So yeah, you can see here, it is all of its original components and everything. We have the 6 gigs of RAM, the Pentium dual core E5300, integrated graphics, and the 640 gigabyte hard drive. So there's nothing too special here. There are faces on the background, so that's why I put this stuff over it. But I'll see if I can find anything else interesting on here. I just can't believe this thing worked totally fine, turned on, no password, anything like that after 7 years. All right, so you can see here the PC has 596 gigs total, and you can see this primary partition here, 224 gigabytes free, and this is most likely a recovery partition. That means there's about 350 gigabytes worth of stuff on here. All right, so taking a look here at Chrome, we only have Xfinity and Google, so nothing super interesting. However, I went and took a look, really old Chrome version. I'll put in the video when this is from. You can actually see the date is correct, but the time is wrong. It's behind by about 36 minutes. So I think the CMOS battery is getting weak, but is still holding a charge because I haven't connected this to Ethernet or anything like that. You can see here the music folder is 157 gigabytes, and when you actually go into it, there is just tons and tons of 2000s and 90s music in here. Very well organized up at the top, and then once you get it on, it's a little more messy. But this is just incredible. It's going to be great for my collection of music that I've taken off of PCs. So basically, if you want to get a ton of 90s or 2000s music, get a bunch of these old cheap PCs, take it off of there, fix up the PC, and then just resell it. And you can just get like over a terabyte of music for free and just only use it for personal use. Alright, so I went ahead and shut down the PC. There was a lot of personal stuff on there, not a ton of stuff that would be interesting for my channel. However, I kind of want to talk about my plans for this. As for what's going to happen here, I'll kind of see what parts I have lying around, but I'm thinking a new case, because this looks like it's standard ATX, and this case is gross and even worse on the inside. So, probably going to do that. Might do a couple other minor upgrades if I have the parts, but otherwise probably just going to put it in storage as is for right now after cloning the hard drive and keeping that here. Now, along with the computer, I also got this iPad 2. The screen on it's really messed up, it's cracked, and the LCD underneath is even damaged a little bit, and the touch doesn't work. So I can't unlock it or do anything with it yet. It's an iPad 2, 16 gig, Wi-Fi and cellular. It's on some version of iOS 9 because I remember using it. I wasn't sure if this would power on at all because it was in the same box that was water damaged. But yeah, this thing still works, just needs a new screen, and then I can find out what's on here. And looking at the screen here, I'm like 95% sure this is an aftermarket screen. I remember the relative who used this dropped it and it broke way worse than this and it got replaced. So there is that. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Obviously, because of some of what was on the computer, I can show a whole lot of it, but I hope you guys enjoyed the process of booting up these devices that haven't been powered on in over 7 years. Stay tuned for more videos, and as always, peace out, guys.